Oh my goodness. Welcome back, art students. I am so excited about how this drawing is turning out. I mean, we have a really good, 3D building. And there's a lot of fun details in here already. I want to show you now how you can include surrounding buildings to really just give it that extra, that extra fun part of sense of community of being in a city or something like that, like down a mall stretch or something. So to do this, I'm going to create another building over here on this side, okay? And I could have my buildings being very close together if it's a really busy, packed city. I could have some space in between my buildings if I want cars to be able to have access, or if it's like an alleyway for people to go down. I think I want to try to do a building that is kind of enough space for a car to pass through. So I think I'm going to go about this far. Notice I'm lining up and preparing for a vertical line. From the bottom, we're going to start down here. We're going to decide how tall we want it. And just to be different, I want this building to appear taller than our first building, okay? So here we go. I'm going to put a dot up there. And I'm going to use my 2 vanishing points here, over here on this side. I'm going to line up over here and line up the bottom of my building, okay? And from the edge of this building to the edge of that building is where we're going to draw. Boom, just like that. This is going to be the area where people can either drive or walk. Now we need to figure out how tall we want the other sides of our building. So over here, I'm going to draw how far I want this side of my wall to show up to be. So it probably should be shorter than the first line that we drew. So I'm going to draw it, and we're going to end it right about there, okay? And I'm going to put a point right there. Now, when we're dealing with the tops of our building, we need to make sure that we know which vanishing point to line it up with. And there should be, we could actually that should be, yep, that should be good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put our finger on this vanishing point. We're going to pivot our ruler all the way up to that point. Now we are going to draw from that point, and we're going to come and we're going to stop right there, right where it touches our building. And then over here, we're going to use this point, and we're going to line it up with that top one as well. Oh, it's really tricky. It's a really steep slope. Boom. There we go. So now I was a little bit off, but I made a pretty good guess. So I'm going to use my eraser and erase that part. Okay? So this line lines up with this vanishing point. This line lines up with that vanishing point. And we no longer need this line in our way, or we no longer need that horizon line there either. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to erase those lines out of the picture. Right. After I do this, you'll see that we have a basic form of a building. There we go. And it's very, very much the same process for doing your doors and windows, just like you did on this building. And we could quick drop a door in. Okay, vertical lines, use vanishing point. Ooh, maybe this one I'll have double doors. Yeah, double doors, 2 doors. There we go. And we'll have like a pole handle like that. Okay? Let me just kind of make that more visible to you. Let me just make it more bold really quick. Okay. Perfect. There we go. I like this already. And the more buildings you make, the more fun it gets. You can have tall buildings, short buildings. You can make parking lots. You can make all kinds of details. You guys like have fun with this. I think you can have, yeah, like traffic lights and stop signs and pedestrian crosswalks. You can do so much here with this. This is like a whole nother world. You can get realistic. Now let's say that the sun was setting over here. Okay, ooh, sun setting. The light is coming this way. This whole entire side of the building probably is gonna show up a little bit more dark. So if this side of the building is dark, you can kind of shade it in. You can rub that in nicely. And now we have a nice value shift. The light is casting on this side of the building still yet, and same with this side of the building still yet. This side of the building should also appear dark then, for that matter, if our light source is coming from over here. So I'm just slightly gonna quickly shade in this whole side of our building. And I'm gonna go ahead and rub that in, make it nice and smooth. Okay. Also, be thinking about the shadows, right? To get even more realistic here. Go ahead and use your vanishing points again, because those are fun. So we can use this vanishing point here. Actually, you can use the vanishing point if you have a sun. You can use the vanishing point of the sun. That actually would be the most realistic way to go about it. And go like that. That. And you can make this appear like it's a shadow. This could all appear darker because it's in the shadows. Oh my goodness. Plug that in nicely. Okay. And this of course would be really dark because it's in between two buildings. And it's not getting much of any light in there. Plus it's probably the road, so it's probably super dark, right? I don't want to get too involved with coloring and shading and stuff, but I want you to understand, it's important to understand where the light source is coming from, okay? And that's kind of how we do that with, you know, shadows and light sources and including another building. Look, somebody can walk down this alleyway in between our buildings. If you want your building super close, it's very much the same process again. You just need to decide how far or how close, and that you're using these vanishing points correctly. What I want you to do after you have either 2 to 3 buildings in place is to add some more details to this, as much as you can. Maybe you want some siding on your walls. Maybe you want a landscape on your horizon line instead of just a plain flat line, because that's boring. I'll show you how to do some of that if you want. It's a little, I will call it optional at this point because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but if you want to go above and beyond with me, see me in the next video. All right,